When we think of power couples, we mostly talk about or look at the powerful men in that dynamic. But today we are talking to two powerful women who have carved a niche for themselves, who represent the Shakti in the power couple dynamic, who are power centers within themselves. They've lent their powerful voice to causes that they believe in. They show us that life can be lived the way one wants to, regardless of the pulls and pressures that comes with being part of a power couple. Please welcome Riniki Bhuyan Sharma. She is wife of the Chief Minister of Assam, Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, and we have the First Lady of Delhi, Mrs. Sangita Saxena. Riniki ji, I'll start with you. She's come all the way from Guwahati to be here with us to share her journey. What really intrigues me about her is that she manages 19 businesses. 19. And I was talking to her and she was saying, sometimes I think that, sometimes it gets very tiring and I think maybe I can just, come back home. I come back home at 11 in the night and I feel so tired sometimes. And I'm looking at her, I said, you really don't need to be working like that. But she chooses to, and she says that I love what I do. And she's built these 19 businesses. She runs the largest media network in the Northeast. So Riniki ji, when you married Himanta, Mr. Sarma, you were in college and you came from a business background. Mr. Sarma you met him in college. Your parents were not very keen on this union, right? Can you share with the audiences a little bit about what is it that you thought of when you decided to get into this relationship?
Okay, good afternoon, Sweta. And first of all, thank you for be a part of such a beautiful session of the wives of powerful people. But in this journey, when you were saying, I was just going back to my yesteryears. So, in my college days, first of all, when I met Himanta, after passing out my 10th, I met him when I was in 11th. At that point of time...
11th grade?
11th grade.
So maybe 17 years old?
Yes.
Gosh.
And at the time, what happened, and since I was, one more thing, I was a state level and a national lawn tennis player.
Wow.
So I represented my state, and at the time, when I went to Cotton College, that was one of the best institutions of Assam at that point of time, and I wanted to be a part of that institution. And Himanta was the general secretary of the college, and so when I went for my admissions, so somebody was saying that the GS gives all the sports entry to the college, and I said, okay, fine, let me see who the GS is. So when I saw it, I found a very cute-faced, plumpy boy. And then I didn't realize, one day he'd be my life partner. So
I wonder if he's watching this.
Yeah. And as in the Cotton has got a ritual of stage ragging, one of the popular girls, I shouldn't say they check on who's a good looking girl, who's this and that, and all the Cotton College Union Society sits in the, and they call. And I was a fresher and I was sitting among the group. Then suddenly the GS calls out, the Riniki Bhuyan Sharma, please come on the stage. I was like, okay. Then he said, oh, okay, fine. I heard that you are a tennis player. I said, yeah, I am. Now start playing tennis. I was with a mekla chadar. I said, how can I play? So you play virtually. So my best friend was made to be a net. I was supposed to, and I was my tears were rolling down. I said, one day I will show this GS who he is. and after that, he then we just continued, and I used to call him a dada. So, and whenever I used to go, he's a GS, I used to, Himontada, I used to call him. But then life as it takes, then we fell in love, we had kids, but till today, he never said I love you, and I never said I love you too. So that is how, but we still have 2 kids now, and we are happily going in a journey, and which is full of ups and downs.
But your mom still doesn't talk to you because you're married to...
Oh, she hates him.
She hates him.
Yeah, because I come from the first liner industrial family of Assam. My father was an industrialist. And at the time, Himanta was a struggling politician. So it was like he was a student, and like a student normally in Assam, like how you come, very simple. He was into studies, and he was a very... And my mom was one sophisticated lady. Oh my God, how can she get married to my daughter? So that was the reaction. And then she said that, go and ask him how he's going to feed you. And then I asked him, like, how are you going to feed me? Then he told me, go and tell your mom that I'll become the chief minister of Assam one day. And I thought that he's trying to impress me, or he's trying to impress what, or has he gone out of his mind? But that was his vision. So today he is. And that is how we started.
Power of conviction. Mrs. Saxena has been married for 36 years, and we always see her at every state function. She's always there with Mr. Saxena, and it's quite amazing, because I was just telling her, I said, you're always there with your husband, whereas in my generation, like, I'm hardly there with my husband. I'm doing my own thing, he's doing his own thing. But so there's something to learn from here. And Mrs. Saxena has really seen the highs and lows, that come with the political life. So if you could share with our audience a little bit about that, ma'am, the journey, and of course the power and the pressure of being the First Lady.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us here with you. It's a privilege and really an honor to be here. You said I'm always by his side. Yes,
or he's always by your side.
No, I am always by his side. And that's because it gives me a real sense of pride to be there with him. It also gives me a real sense of culture. Isn't it in our culture to be by the side of our husbands, wherever they are? Lows or highs, wherever, we are supposed to be there, and I'm always there. But when I'm not there as in a state program or something like that, I want to just come across to people as a very approachable person, very reachable, not to be asking for any official work to get done through me. But yes, their pains I want to share, I want to give them my compassion. I don't meet them wearing that crown of being the First Lady of Delhi. I'm just very genuine with them and very authentic. And our journey together began 36 years ago when he was liaison officer with JK White Cement. And as I was brought up entirely in Surat, that was a big city, as compared to when I got married and went Gotan, where the JK Cement, White Cement plant was there. It was a very small village, and the JKs had just a very small township. But it was all a very nice setup of so many families from various places in the country to come together, and we used to have nice fun, so many festivals to celebrate. The journey of my social work or as being an educator began from there. There were so many children, and there was only just one school that JK had. Today is a very big school. You all have to read about it. It's one of the premium schools in India, a boarding school. But then it was a very small thing. So to collect the children there, to teach them, from being from Gujarat, I taught them Garba. And then we did the Navratri festival. And to teach them, to bring them together and to teach them the value of what they have. There began my journey to to bring children to the level that the country today expects from them. To be responsible for the freedom that they have, to be responsible for the environment that they're going to leave behind. So that is how my journey began, from Rajasthan, then to Gujarat, and for the last 10 years in Delhi.
Now to New Delhi. Well, Riniki ji, as wife of the Chief Minister of the state, does that make your job easier to run the 19 businesses that you run? Or are you constantly are you in a tussle with Mr. Sharma, trying to convince him or trying to explain, why is it that you're doing something? Why is it that you're working 12 hours a day or 15 hours a day?
Actually, Sweta, like being the wife of a chief minister is itself a very happy moment for me. But the thing is that, like, the question, or the answer to the question is, like, it's, first of all, if you have a true politician in your home, and if you have a by-heart entrepreneur in your home,
Yeah.
at that point of time, it is two different poles. So, like, and he's a successful politician. And when I come to entrepreneurship, in my journey, so like when I meet the big industrialists, for example, when they say that we are doing this, and I keep on wondering how this family has done it in 40 years and they have become this. And how come in 20 years I'm still doing it? It is not that I don't have my head or something like that. I'm succeeding, I'm going, but still I have to be, it is like a Lakshman Rekha that I cannot cross to. Because why? Being a politician's wife, what happens? Immediately you get surrounded, like they think us to be a trophy wife, first of all.
Right. Yeah.
And secondly, when they think, like, okay, fine, today she is successful because she is the wife of
But
the
that
chief
that
minister.
is with women, right?
Yes.
The success, the credit of the success is never given to the woman for the
Women.
work that she does.
Yes.
It's either the husband or the father. It's, yeah.
Order, because just before me, Mrs. Mukta Saxena, she has spoken, like, we perceive men as they are the karta dhartas of the universe, and women are just to support. Even if they mind a phone, they are not recognized.
That's right. Yes.
And normally when you have got a very big tree over you, the small things takes a trouble in
Absolutely.
growing.
Absolutely.
And the struggle, it's becomes very difficult. So, in sometimes, like, okay, fine, being Himanta Biswa Sarma's wife, it is actually very difficult to be an entrepreneur, because everybody thinks, because he's a politician in its sense, he said that, Remy, now since we know that we are all surrounding as the politics goes, and if you see me, like today somebody sees me that, madam, I have seen you in all the news coverage, instead of being happy, you believe me, I get scared, because I am depicted for all the wrong reasons. Of being a chief minister's wife, how can you become an entrepreneur? In one of the TV interviews, I told, like, मेरा husband तो women empowerment के लिए he is a champion of the cause, but जब wife करती है, मेरे को तो जूते का माला पहनना पड़ता है, वो भी हर एक size का. Name it, and I have all the sizes in my and that is where the you can say it a beauty, you can say it a irony, you can say it a struggle.
Yes.
That is where it lies. That is what I want to say. Like, it's a moment where you cherish being his wife. Sometimes it's a rope that pulls you back, but that is the struggle and the celebration of being a celebrity's wife. That's what.
I would think that, I would say that he's a celebrity's husband, at least in Guwahati and Assam. Because you're quite a celebrity in your own right.
I am, thank you.
Of course, exactly. So this is the humility, right, that women deal with. We're always living with an imposter syndrome, that, right? We're always fighting that self-doubt. Sangita ji, what does power mean for you? You know, at the moment, like you said, that you are accessible, you want people to come and approach you, and the fact is also that people might approach you because they want to get something done. So, you know, where do you draw the line, and what does power signify for you?
Power to me is that license which, you know, gives you the authority, the right to be the change that you want to see in the society. Power should never be to impose power. It should always be to empower others. Or power, in my right, I have no power. I'm only talking about power
So
as
the
general.
session is Fabulous Lives of Powerful
No, but
Wives,
I
and she's saying
never-
she has no power.
No, I have no power and I remain very humble as a LG's wife. लेकिन मैं एक चीज को बहुत मानती हूँ कि पावर का कभी नशा नहीं चढ़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि नशा जिस चीज का भी हो बहुत जल्दी उतर जाता है. So a powerful person has to remain humble, approachable, polite, listen to people's voice. दुनिया में बहुत दुख दर्द है, अगर आप भी अपना पावर इम्पोज करने लगे कि तुम कुछ नहीं हो, मैं सब कुछ हूं, मैं सब जानता हूं, it doesn't work like that. So power has to be humbling. For me, that is power. You are powerful only when you're humble. If you're arrogant, you're not powerful. You're
I think that's a
arrogant.
wonderful, wonderful takeaway, really. Thank you for saying that. Riniki ji, in the power dynamics at home, both of you are very powerful personalities. How does that work out? Who calls the shots at home?
Okay. So it has gone. Basically, both of us, we are very strong-headed in the sense. So what we have our very lines defined that I will not enter your assembly, you don't enter my home.
Okay.
So, and it happened with a very interesting story. So, Hemanta was a Vastu freak.
Okay.
And I don't believe in Vastu. I need a good house that needs to be very beautiful and it has to have the aesthetics on the right sense. We had a dining table, so I have placed it very aesthetically in one club. In the morning I place and go to the office, and evening again it turns around in a different place. Again the next day I come in the morning, again in the evening. We had a tussle for 1 month like that. And every day, Hemanta, he doesn't speak to me, neither I speak to him directly, but we turn the tables. And then after 1 month, we finally came to a conclusion it should be in the middle of the house. So, and both of us, neither of them eat in that dining table, but it is a vast. Then I told them, when you are in the political, so you have all good people coming home. They should have the aesthetics correct. So let me take care of the home front. I will give you a proper, beautiful set. You just come and flaunt that you have done it. So that is what, and that is how we maintain. But actually in this power dynamics, there are a lot of people who tries to ping you from the back. And that is where, if you don't have your head on your shoulder, so that is where the family the breaking line starts. So in that way, we are very clear. So if anything happens in the house, he will say, go and ask madam. If anything happens politically, I said, I'm the wrong person. That is how we are. And the best part of it is that if we meet too often, then the house will blast. so that is where we are okay.
I think that's wonderful advice. If you meet too often, the house will blast. So, all right. Okay, very quickly, I'll say the following and you tell me what comes to your mind. I'll say Assam.
Beautiful green.
Media.
Redefining.
Redefining.
The society.
Kaziranga.
One horn rhino.
Cotton College.
Nostalgia.
Hemanta Viswa Sarma.
Okay, I'm taking time to answer. I don't know. This is something I actually don't know. He's my husband. That's only that's fine.
Husband?
That's it.
Power.
Influence, inspiration.
Politics.
Politics. Even that's and for me, before marrying Hemanta, quote unquote, I was to say it is the last resort of scoundrels. But now, for me, because when he was a lawyer at the time, but now for me, politics, if used in the right way, it adds a very beautiful and a defining meaning, not only to yourself, but to the society to whom you are contributing yourself your entire life.
Okay. Business.
My blood.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you a few. I'll say a few words, and you tell me what comes to your mind. Yes, right here. Delhi.
Majestic city with monuments yet unexplored. There are so many of them. You need to visit all these places.
Rains.
Beautiful if you are sipping a cup of adrak wali chai in your balcony, but very harassing if you are on the roads.
Donald Trump.
Oh. The topic of every dinner table conversation in every household today.
PM Modi.
Unmatched. The country is blessed to have him.
Is that the loudest applause? Rahul Gandhi.
Unmatched again.
And Mr. Saxena.
Mr. Saxena again is a very difficult question, isn't it? In very simple words, he is a very simple man. थोड़ा सा लंबा आंसर दे दूं इस बात का?
बिल्कुल दीजिए.
लेकिन उनके अपने शब्दों में अगर मैं उनको डिस्क्राइब करूं तो उनकी जिंदगी का फलसफा 2-3 उनके पसंदीदा गजलों के शेर हैं जो वो कहते हैं, वो अपने लिए ही पढ़ते हैं और कहते हैं कि ये मुझे डिफाइन करते हैं. पहला वो अपने लिए ये कहते हैं कि जो डूबना है तो इतने सुकून से डूबो, जो डूबना है तो इतने सुकून से डूबो कि आसपास की लहरों को भी पता ना चले. इससे वो ये कहते हैं कि जो काम आपको करना है ना वो कर जाइए, ढोल बाजा तमाशा ना कीजिए. लेट योर वर्क स्पीक फॉर यू एंड डोंट कीप ब्लैबरिंग अबाउट योर वर्क. एक और शेर जो उनका बहुत पसंदीदा है वो है कि हम भी दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है, जिस तरफ भी चल पड़ेंगे रास्ता हो जाएगा. आपको शायद लगेगा इसमें तो बड़ी एरोगेंस की बू है, लेकिन नहीं. उनका इसका ट्रांसलेशन ये है कि आई हैव फेथ इन माई एबिलिटी, इन माई कैपेसिटी, इन माई डिटर्मिनेशन एंड डेडिकेशन. कहीं मेरे रास्ते में रोड ब्लॉक भी आएगा, मैं अपना रास्ता बना लूंगा और सही रास्ता बनाऊंगा. वो कहते हैं कि ए जज्बाए दिल अगर मैं चाहूं हर चीज मुकाबिल आ जाए, मंजिल की तरफ 2 गाम चलूं तो सामने मंजिल आ जाए. वो कहते हैं कि चलना तो आप ही को पड़ेगा अपनी मंजिल की तरफ, मंजिल तो चल के आपकी तरफ आने नहीं वाली. सो दिस इज व्हाट ही इज. ये उन्होंने इस चीज को सिर्फ एक गजल की शेर की तरह नहीं पढ़ा, अपने लिए पढ़ते और हर जगह पढ़ते हैं. एंड दैट इज व्हाट ही एक्चुअली इज. आई हैव सीन हिम इन 36 years. Whatever he set his eyes upon, there were huge challenges. Even as in the day he formed his NGO, I was very scared for him. He was a very junior officer, but he fought big oil companies. He began there with his NGO, and you all must be very aware of the fights that he's taken, and he's won them, but with sincerity, with loyalty, and with absolute humility. So he's been that person to me.
Thank you so much for that. Here we have 2 different generations of powerful wives. Thank you so much. May you always wear your power as lightly as you do today. Thank you so much. Can we have a huge round of applause for both the wonderful women who came and who were very candid with us. I'm sure it's not easy being in the limelight all the time, and you are always, for whatever they do, not only are they judged, but their partners are also judged. So I think that's a huge burden to carry. Thank you so much, and a big round of applause once again